Hello everyone! In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to set up a booking system for color consultants. So I recently had my colors done by a House of Color professional and I loved the experience so much, but I realized that there was some room for improvement with how these consultants ran their businesses. And so it boils down to the fact that they're using so many clunky tools, and I believe it can be better. As a side note, a lot of these same principles can apply to other types of consultants, so if you like this video, feel free to reach out to us too, and we'd be happy to answer all of your questions. For this video, we're going to be using the simplyschedule.me website platform. This is a full service platform backed by the Simply Schedule appointments team. We take care of all the technical stuff, including domain, server hosting, and our team will even meet with you to help you get everything set up. We also provide a suite of additional plugins that will help you design and add more functionality to your site. So if you don't like the exact design of the website I'm working with right now, just keep in mind that everything is completely customizable. So our team will work with you to create a beautiful custom website that includes everything you can need to run your business all in one place. And of course, the main plugin here is our Simply Schedule appointments tool. A few highlights is that we will never put any caps or any maximum limits on the number of appointments that you can receive or the number of calendars that you can create, and none of our branding is included. Let's go ahead and set up a calendar from scratch. As you can see here, I already have 4 separate calendars set up, and I can flip through one really quick just to show you what it looks like. So this is for the plain color analysis for an individual person, and I have right now the name, email, phone number, and if somebody referred them, I have a field so that they can fill it out here. And if you notice closely, I also have the payment set up here, so this will automatically help you collect $290 right as they book an appointment. And they either have the option to use a credit card or they can pay later. We also have PayPal, and I can show you. I'm going to set that up here in a moment too. Let's head on back to the website backend. So this is what the administrative side of this website looks like. We have a few different options here, but just so that we don't get sidetracked, I'm just going to show you the Simply Schedule appointments portion of this. So here is the appointments tab, and if I click into this, you'll see that this is where I'm going to be managing pretty much all the appointment related things. For example, here's where I'll see a list of all my upcoming appointments. You can also view past appointments, search up a date range, you can search for specific customers, you can filter them by a few different bits of information such as the label or the status, and you can also book an appointment here as an admin. Next, we have our appointment type section, and we're going to come back to this, but this is basically what just represents a booking calendar. So we're going to create one here in a moment, but let me show you a few different things before we come back to this. Here is our settings page, and while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and finish setting up my Google Calendar sync. So here in my Google settings, I already have my client ID and client secret keys added in. Now, if you guys need help with this, we're always happy to help and get this set up. If anything, we should have a quick connect button coming soon. You don't have to deal with these keys. So I'm going to go ahead and save and authorize. And once complete, you should see your account here at the top left corner with your email address listed. And there are a few other options here. For example, if you'd prefer to use Google Meet for the web meetings feature, if you'd like to delete canceled or rescheduled events from the calendar directly, right now they're only marked with the canceled keyword. And then you also get to choose how often we refresh these Google calendars. All right, and next I'm going to give you a quick peek at the Stripe and PayPal settings. So here you can see I have my keys added. We have Stripe in test mode. Again, if you guys ever need any help on this, we're always happy to help you get these set up and ready to receive payments. And then PayPal for this one, it's quite a simple setup as well. You can always reach out to our team for help. All right, so now that I have Google hooked up and I have my payments ready as well, and I have my notifications toggled on, which is great. And just to make a quick note, we also have a Mailchimp integration. We have an integration with Zoom, WebEx. We're set up to send tracking information to Google Analytics. And we also have a team booking feature as well as a webhooks feature. which can come in handy if you're using Zapier, for example. And so now I want to show you the support tab. You can get in contact with us at any time through email. Simply clicking on contact support button, you can type up a message here for us and we should get back to you as soon as we can, usually within 1 business day. All right, so let's go ahead and set up our group color analysis appointment type. So here I have my 4 booking calendars already set up, but let's go ahead and add a brand new one. And I'm going to name it. So my regular color analysis appointment type has a duration of 90 minutes. So in this case, I think I'm going to set it to 160 minutes. I'm going to make the booking view monthly. This is just going to determine in what format the dates are going to be shown. And then you have the option to add in instructions. And for the availability, I think this availability will work for me. I'm available from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. And just keep in mind that this is a little drag and draw editor, so you can use the eraser tool and the pencil tool to add in time slots. And you also have the option, if you're specifically picky about when you want these appointments to start, you can also switch over to the specific start times option. And you also get to choose the intervals at which these start. For example, if you want them to always start on the hour, or if you're fine with them starting every 30 minutes or even up to 10 minutes, it's up to you. And next we have an availability window, and this is basically just to limit when your availability starts and ends. We won't touch this now because this is just going to be a regular weekly schedule that we want to put out for our clients to book. And the capacity is to allow you to accept more than 1 appointment per time slot. I know it does say group here and you have the option to select a group, but each appointment that's made through this calendar will technically already count as a group. So I don't want to double book group bookings here. And so I'm just going to leave it as individual and as one. Next, we have our scheduling options. For most color analysis appointments, I would imagine you guys are taking appointments locally and you won't need to take appointments across the country or the world. So I would recommend the locked time zone. So, that way all your clients visiting your site can see the time zone that matches your settings. In this case, it's set to America/Los Angeles. Next, we have a buffer in case you guys need to give yourself a little bit of time before or after any appointment, just to make sure you have enough time to clean up or put things back in place. In this case, I would say there's a 15-minute buffer before as well as a 15-minute buffer after. So that's just going to put a little padding in between each single one of these appointments that gets booked. Now, you also have the option to choose a notice so that you don't get booked at the very last minute. In this case, we have at least 1 day's notice before anyone can book. And we also have an advance setting. So this lets you choose how far in advance someone can book an appointment with you. In this case, people can book up to a year in advance. So I think that's a little bit too much. So I'm going to change it to 12 weeks. And now the booking window is great if you ever decide to make a booking calendar that's running perhaps like a special deal or a special price for color analysis or one of your consulting services. You can create a booking calendar that runs a 50% off special and people can only book through the end of this weekend, for example. That's what this booking window is great for. And lastly, we have a per day limit. So in case you can only take so many appointments per day, specifically these group color analysis appointments, you can choose how many you would like to receive per day. So if you can only handle 1 of these guys per day, you can set that here. Of course, if you have the space in your schedule, you can always still be booked for the other types of appointments in your calendar. All right, and then next we have our payments. And because we already have our Stripe and PayPal set up, you can see that here in my payment methods, I have both of those integrations listed here. And you have the option to mark this as absolutely required, or you can also make it optional in case you want to give your clients the option to pay you in person. So in this case, I'm going to just leave it as required. And next we have our Google Calendar settings. So here is the calendar that I synced to earlier. And I also have the option to check any one of my calendars for conflicts. And these are all the ones that belong to this account I connected. So I already have a calendar set up for blocking time. So I'm going to make sure I'm checking this for conflicts because I have to run to the dentist or I have to run an errand. I can always put in a busy event in my calendar and it will block off the times here in my schedule automatically. And next we have the web meetings tab. In case this ends up being a virtual appointment, or if you at some point decide to offer virtual consultations, you can always add in your web meeting link here. Right now I'm not connected to Zoom, so the only option I have is this custom meeting URL, which is fine too. You can enter your personal Zoom meeting link here as well. All right, next we have the customer information. At this time, it comes with the default name and email fields, but you also have the option to add in additional fields, whether that's a single line of text or multiple lines of text, checkboxes, radio buttons, and phone numbers. You can always ask your clients for their address. You can ask them additional questions, who referred them, for example, or any other notes that you'd like to collect from them before they come in. And for now, I'm just going to leave it as is, just the name and email. And lastly, we have the notifications. So right now, we have all the following notifications set to go out: 2 for the admin and then 2 for the customer. This bottom one, please ignore. I think this is just me testing, but we'll come back and actually create a new notification from scratch. So let's go ahead and save this. And now you can see that we have 5 total appointment types, and this group color analysis is here at the very bottom, the one we just made. So let's go ahead and head back over to our homepage just so that we can see what that looks like and even book an appointment as well. So here on my homepage, I'm going to click this book now button because I've already have it hooked up. And as you can see here, this was automatically added to my list of appointments. And I'm going to go ahead and select it, and let's go ahead and book a time. So let's say I want to book March 24th, and we'll make it an early appointment. And now I'm going to choose this credit card option. I can see the price is $3.90. And I'm going to go ahead and confirm and pay this. Again, this is in test mode, and I'm going to click the book button. And now we'll have our confirmation. So here we have our name, email. It shows us how much we just paid, and it gives us a few options. So if I can edit the information in case I misspelled my name or my email, I can reschedule this if I decide this time is not going to work for me anymore. I can cancel my appointment, and I can also schedule a brand new one. So that'll just take me back to the initial listing where I can book a new appointment. All right, so let's head back to the administrative side of our website and go to our appointments page again. Let's see this new appointment that just came in. So as you can see here, I have my group color analysis appointment set up, and it's booked under Judy's name. And if I view the appointment details, I have a bit of information listed here. For example, I can see what page they booked on. I can see the status of this. I can also see the payment information. So if I need to head over to Stripe really quick and process a refund, for example, or if I need to double check their payment, I can always use this little link right here as well. That is pretty much our appointment booking process. Next thing I want to show you is what it looks like in my Google Calendar. So since we hooked this up to Google, let's check out what that day looks like for March 24th at 9 a.m. So here in Google, let's flip to the right week. And as you can see here, we already have Judy's information already automatically added here for us. And if I click into it, it tells me the name of my client. It also tells me the website name, and in this case it's a little wonky, I'm sorry. This is a little test site that we fired up. And we also have the name of this appointment type, so the group color analysis. And if you look here below, Judy is actually invited to this event, so she can see this exact same information on her end, and she can see her details, and she also has access to this link to make changes to the event. So if we click that, we can edit the appointment, and she now has access to edit the information, reschedule, or cancel. That's what it looks like on Google. The next thing I want to show you is what a notification would look like for Judy. So if we go to settings, go to notifications, and if we go to the email customer, let's go ahead and take a peek at what this looks like for Judy. So if we click edit, here is our notification editor. The name is mainly just for organizational purposes. Right now we have it saying, okay, this is an email and it's heading out to the customer. Here in the send to field, you have the option to use this little mail icon here on the right hand side, and you can add additional what we call twig tokens. So anything with the double curly brackets is considered a twig, and it actually pulls information from the appointments. So you can pull in things like the name, email, and a lot of other cool nifty things, but I'll show you that here in a moment. So for right now, we have customer email in place, but you also have the option to add in additional emails just by typing them in and pressing enter. You also have the CC and BCC options, and you have control on when you want to send this notification. So right now we have it set to 0 minutes after an appointment is booked. So like right as the person books this appointment, this notification is triggered. Now for the triggers, we have a few different options. So we have triggers for when an appointment is booked, edited, canceled, but we also have the option of time of appointment. So you can set something like 1 day after the time of appointment. For example, if you want to send your clients a final thank you email and say, thank you for coming in, here is a link to review my services, for example, you can send that out here as well. Next, you can select the appointment types that are tied to this particular email. Again, you have an unlimited number of emails that you can create. It's completely up to you. So if you want to make a custom email for each one of these services, you can. By default, it's set to all, but you can always uncheck that, and that should open up the option for you to select which one you want. So if I wanted to, I could always unselect all of them and say this notification is specifically for my group color analysis service. All right, and here in the subject, I'm going to tweak this a little bit. Right now, it just says your appointment details, but let's go ahead and introduce the twig tokens icon. So here in the top right, there's a large T and a smaller case t. And if I click on that, you'll see I have a bunch of different tokens that I can bring in and have them pull information from the appointment. Here, I can say something like, and then we can pull in our twig to say the appointment type title right here. Once this is sent out, it'll say, thanks for booking group color analysis with me. And then you can always customize the message. In this case, you'll see that we already have a few different twigs in place. So for example, here it's going to say hello, and then it's saying customer name. It'll also pull in your website URL. And then this really long token here is for the start time, but we also have customer start date and business start date here, for example. So you can always pull that in if you need to. So we have appointment scheduled for blank, and so on and so forth. With all that said, I think I want to just show you a few features of using a website built by the simplyschedule.me platform. For starters, I want to show you the makeup order form. So I've noticed that you ladies do take a lot of orders and end up using things like Google Forms or just Jot forms or something additional, but you can create forms and put them right in your website so you don't have to go, back and forth with all these other platforms. So here I've already set up a makeup form. This is a brand new page that just has my makeup order form where people can fill in their name, email, phone, choose the pickup time, or they can choose to ship to me. And the cool thing is that you can also apply conditional logic, so you can make these pretty fancy. So for example, right now I have it so that if they choose ship to me, they can actually enter an address, so it's not showing just by default and making it look clunky. Let's go ahead and fill this out really quick. All right, so now if I go ahead and submit this form, it'll say, thanks for contacting us. We'll be in touch with you shortly. Of course, you can always modify this, customize this. It's completely up to you. But let's go back to our administrative side. And here under this G where it says forms, it's actually a tool called Gravity Forms. If we go into the entries, you'll see that we have a listing here for the one that we just entered. So Judy Bloom. And then if we click on her entry, it'll show us a full overview of her information. So you can see her name, email, and the order she placed. Of course, you can customize this to full extent. We have a lot of different fields that we can drag and drop in, and it all just lives within your website. All right, and so another thing I wanted to show you that I noticed that you guys use a lot of Linktrees. The great thing about a website is that it can be modified to look just like a Linktree. Just to give you a quick peek, I actually set up this homepage so that if you view it in mobile from a mobile device, it automatically turns into somewhat of a Linktree page. So let me give you a quick peek. And so here I've just changed into my little mobile view for my browser. So I can preview how this would look like in an iPad and a full widescreen desktop. But let's look at what it looks like for an iPhone 8 Plus. So as you can see here, we have a little headshot, we have a little intro, and then we have the links. We have buttons here, so you can book a color consultation. I notice you guys use a lot of the LTK links, so you can easily link people from your website to your LTK. And then we also link to the makeup order form, which is just another page on your website. So they could either click here or they can use this little hamburger menu to access your makeup order form. And the cool thing about booking a color consultation, it's just going to take me down further in the page. So this all lives within the mobile view and it's still here on your homepage. And you can be as creative as you want. You're not limited to just putting buttons. Like, for example, you can put in long form text, you can put in pictures, reviews. It's completely up to you. Alrighty, and then the last thing I want to show you too is that you can have your very own blog. I've made a very, very simple blog here. I just named it the color blog, but you can get as creative as you want with this. You can put out content, you can make short form blogs, you can put together images, anything you really want, you can put into your website. And so in this case, I've made this little blog post for an autumn outfit inspo. And the cool thing is that this actually uses another nifty little tool. So this image is actually interactive. So if I hover over this blouse, you'll see that it gives me a short little tooltip giving me a bit more information. So this says it's a yellow woven tank from H&M and it's $23. And then I can hover over the skirt. So far I've only done these two, so I can't hover over these. But just to give you an idea, if somebody clicks on this, they can be automatically taken to the websites, whatever you want to link, anything really. It can even be an affiliate link, it can be your LTK, and of course it is in a blog format, but it can be anything you want as well. And with that, I think I'm pretty much done. Again, this is a full service platform backed by the Simply Schedule Appointments team. We want to take care of all the technical stuff without being limiting to you, so that you can have a place where you can host all your wonderful business information, and also have a place where clients can easily find you and where you can be a source of inspiration for your clients as well. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're always happy to help. And if you're hesitant, we can even get on a phone call with you guys. We can answer all your questions and we can make sure this is set up and we'll meet all of your needs. I hope this was helpful and thank you so much for watching.